Wood
to Webster to the Egret
to
Bay,
Texas City.
Dude, across the freeway to Friendswood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to Texas City.
Man.
It's really massive.
I mean, I feel like
I forget. I'm like, it's 100,000 people, and
No, it's like
I think we're across the lake, but I forget.
I think
you
we're
got
at
Magnolia Golf Course.
I think we're maybe at 110,000 or more. I mean, it's just.
Wow.
And I remember years ago, I think it might even be more than 100. I mean, we might be approaching 120, 130,000. I remember when the mayor told me that how surprised he was, and this is like one of early on in his tenure. All of a sudden, TxDOT sent League City all the keys to all the traffic lights, and I think I might have mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Because once
your responsibility.
once you hit 100,000, then you now have to take care of all the traffic lights in your city.
You probably get some funding, but it's like time to buy some trucks and hire some people.
Time to develop a traffic department.
Exactly. You need to build a little facility because we're not doing it anymore.
And there's been some growing pains in League City. Obviously, there's been water and different things. There was some issues with water, but obviously, if you look along Highway 3, they've done a lot. Even some of it actually is technically on the north shore of Clear Creek, but in Webster. You notice some big old tanks that say League City on it, but
no.
So I think some they've had to
because Walter Hall, all that. It's very interesting. I mean, dude, they really do. Yeah, League City butts up against like 6 cities itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty wild.
No, it's the big brother. I mean, it's really the dominant city right now in this area.
And they really do claim themselves. I mean, I've had a lot of meetings with them and know a lot of people from over there and worked with a lot of different businesses and things going on. And they really kind of claim to be like the secondary Galveston. Like they don't own the lake or anything, but like. If you're coming down from Houston and you're going to Galveston, stop in League City.
Oh,
no. They want to be, they want to be on the map. No,
it's funny.
Yeah,
I've actually
in between spot.
I've been to State of the Lake meetings where they have all the local mayors come, and I've actually seen the mayor of League City tell the mayor of Kemah, hey, we're going to pick off as many people on their way to Kemah as we can.
Literally,
literally, people are going to turn on 518 and start heading towards Kemah, but League City wants them to stay. Man, they want them to, they're trying to get them to stay in their restaurants, and League City's done a lot of cool things. I mean, I remember when they first the plan even before it was built, but the Big League Dreams, ballpark and all
the
that.
646 development.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, I always think of that as being Dickinson. Or just, but no, like everything in 646 is League City, dude. It's crazy. Yeah. Like, and even beyond that, in between 96 and 646, I mean, dude, it's huge. Yeah. They're slowly, surely doing it.
And while we're talking about, League City, we'll go ahead and skip. We're gonna kind of go a little further east now, but we're gonna jump over to Beacon Island.
Let's jump across the lake. Yeah. So before that, real quick, John, let's all right. So we are drinking tonight. We've had some Spindle Tap. So we have drank a 5% Tent. Shout out to Spindle Tap for that 5% Tent IPA. And then one of our 100% favorites.
Houston Haze,
favorites, Houston Haze. Me and John love our hazy beers.
Yeah, this Houston Haze really, a lot of people credit Spindle Tap for kind of launching the hazy IPA movement, especially here in Houston.
Yeah.
Which was kind of really, Kirsten, I've done shows on this, written articles about it, but the hazy IPAs, it's a style built by Instagram, and
sure.
It's
what got me into
hazy
IPAs.
Beers photograph well. Also, they're not as aggressively hoppy, so it's
like plenty of alcohol.
Yeah. It's so people that aren't necessarily into really hoppy beers still
sometimes it'll give people headaches.
Yeah. But yeah, so Houston Haze. I mean, I've told stories about how back in the day they used to have to order. You'd buy your beer from Spindle Tap. They have a very limited amount they'd be able to sell. They'd sell it on Eventbrite 2 weeks ahead of time. You'd pay for it 2 weeks ahead of time. Then you'd wait in line to pick it up on a Friday. 2 weeks later, they actually crashed Eventbrite a couple times. And just yeah. This is now we're talking about probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, back before COVID and everything. But so now we're
me and John love drinking beer. We love drinking all beer, but we love our hazy IPAs. We're gonna switch it up. We love drinking local Texas and Houston beers as well. The local breweries, obviously, we're big fans of that. But we are switching it up now to what do we got here, John?
Got Real Ale out of Blanco, Texas. Really,
okay. So still Texas.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully,
Hopsprocky.
Yeah, and I've not had this Hopsprocket.
I have not
hazy
either.
IPA. Jordan, I guess you picked it up somewhere.
Yeah, I picked it up today at
Awesome.
HEB. So let's.
Real Ale is one of the OG craft brewers in Texas. I would say it's Real Ale, St. Arnold's, and RAR up in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah, those are really
sure.
the three kind of like large. Real Ale for many years was one of the top, and St. Arnold's was one of the top 50 craft breweries in America. I'm not sure where they fall in the rankings now. I mean, obviously, it's so much.
They're still definitely relevant, though. I mean,
yeah.
Seem like they all have a strong game now where they don't just come out with one beer. They have so many beers, and Real Ale's kept up with it.
Yeah, and if you think about Real Ale, the beer that probably most people are familiar with was Fireman's 4.
I think so.
Yeah,
that would be like the most branded. You actually see that at a bar. Yeah,
just like
sure.
you think of the New Belgium Brewing, in Colorado, you think of Fat Tire.
Absolutely.
So Real Ale, you think of Fireman's 4, although they have I like their Axis IPA. I mean, they've got
Axis is a big one too. Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess I'm about to try Hopsprocket, and I'm excited.
Right.
Thank you, Jordan,
Cheers,
for
man.
sharing that. Cheers, yeah. Pop that.
Let's see how this thing. So what is this, guys? This is we're talking 7.3%.
Oh, okay. So it's
we're working our way up just a little bit. So.
Oh yeah, that's good. Interesting, yeah.
That's it's crisp, hazy, but more floral. I think, right? It's
it's definitely got a different thing going on different than the profile of Spindletap.
It's still got that kind of cream hazy kind of feel, but a little bit more crisp, a little sharper.
Yeah. A little bit more sharpness in the back end.
Yeah, I think so. On the
but
back
it's great.
end, yeah.
No, it's this is good.
Good deal.
This is good. Yeah, thank you.
So,
Real Ale. I think they were established in '96. So that's,
wow.
So they've been around. Yeah.
So there is a development in League City, kind of where John's going to.
Oh, yeah.
It's right across Egret Bay. There's some land there that's on the creek in League City. Across from, there's like a church over there, and they're going to do something with that eventually. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. But what they're actually building just around the corner, which is on the water, John's going to tell you.
Yeah, well, Beacon Island. Beacon Island. It's right next to it's really right there next to the South Shore Harbor Marina.
Island,
there's that island. It's the one that's had the lighthouse up until very recently.
Yes.
And Jordan and I were talking about that the other day. But so it's Beacon Island. It's the South Shore Harbor lighthouse. For many years, it was that island just had a lot of trees and that lighthouse.
Yeah, there was nothing there. It was just whatever developer couldn't afford it, or they were scared.
Well, or they hadn't gotten around to it, or
exactly.
Yeah, and it is an island, so it's literally got a bridge connecting it to the rest of South Shore. It's at the end of what's this? Is that? It's not Enterprise? It's the street that Fuzzy Tacos is on. But anyway,
no, that's not the street. It's off of. It's called. God, what is the street called? It's not Enterprise. It's something.
Lighthouse Boulevard.
Lighthouse Boulevard.
Yeah. So anyway, originally, I remember when I did this, this article. Originally, Beacon Island was going to include at least 4 high rises.
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely one of the high rise spots.
Yeah. And obviously they scaled that back, and they've built some really nice homes. I actually know at least one person that lives there that's actually a builder in his own right.
Yeah.
And but now they've really kind of got a plan.
Split
Right now it's just. I would say. I don't know that there's more than 15 homes.
Oh, not even. Yeah. So they like John said, they probably have 50 homes coming in. There's half of them are built, and then the other, I guess 60% of the island's going to be a new apartment development, which is on the water.
Yeah,
and then,
So
the
they've
other
definitely
40% is going to be the homes.
Yeah,
which are
definitely
very nice.
kind of adjusted the plan with the times, but there's plans for 69 patio homes. Not sure how they arrived at that number. 95 townhomes. And 250 to 350 garden-style apartments. There's going to be 4.5 acres of parks, and
it looks like the middle,
just
of the
over 12,000.
Have a nice dog area, just walking area for the residents. Almost like, they don't have to leave the island just to take the dog on a walk or go exercise. Yeah.
and it looks like there's going to be over 12,000 feet of trails. Which I'm trying to think if that sounds. I guess that sounds like a lot. And looking at the renderings, they definitely have some. So it looks like you're going to have
water access. Or
yeah,
what?
well, I mean, yeah. There's definitely some piers and docks. I mean, there's basically a marina.
So the houses will, if they want to build their own docks and piers, will have water access. The apartments, they'll probably have something that gets you out there, but not a marina. And they are right next to South Shore Harbor. So even if you don't necessarily have a boat or water access, you are literally within walking distance of being able to access the water at South Shore.
And the apartments are actually they're not only under construction, but they've made a lot of progress.
They're leasing. Yeah, I'm on the list.
Okay.
They're pre-leasing, or there might even be a few units leased. Yeah.
And if you're in the real estate business, multifamily developments right now, and rental units. I mean, rental's hot. Obviously the current interest rates, make buying, less attractive than it was about a year or two ago, or even 6 months ago.
Oh man!
So, so a lot of people are renting for a short period of time, just to get ready to buy. Although I would argue it's not a bad time to buy if you have money, and and you always say you marry the home, you date the rate, So so
like that.
maybe and as a result, prices have come down, so and it's no longer a seller's market. So I mean, it's actually a good time to buy. You're just buying knowing that you might want to try to refinance in a couple of years, or just or double your payment. Pay off that principal quicker if you have the money to do that. But so it looks like it's less high rise, obviously, more apartments, a lot of townhomes. But yeah, it looks like a really cool, and that's just such a neat area there. Literally, it's an island. You're surrounded by water. So,
looks like, yeah, man, I'm super excited about Beacon Island. I'm sure what they're gonna do. I'm sure that I don't know how they're gonna involve that in the community or how Beacon Island's gonna really create a name for itself. But it is really neat, and we'll see what they kind of do with it. And I'm excited to see it all kind of completed.
And I'm gonna find out. I do hope they bring back the lighthouse. I mean, that's kind of a landmark for this area.
Yeah, that's
it's right now
you up the other day.
Yeah, right now you still see kind of the support structure, but the actual lighthouse is gone.
Yeah, I don't know if they're taking it out or cleaning it or doing something.
I hope they bring it back. I hope
we'll see. We'll have an update on that for you guys.
I know the original Beacon Island logo actually incorporated the lighthouse, so hopefully they'll stick with that logo, which means they'll bring the lighthouse back.
It wouldn't make any sense to get rid of it.
And if you're not familiar with the lighthouse, I mean, it's the lighthouse, the South Shore Harbor Lighthouse, on Clear Lake. But it was actually
on Clear Lake, on the edge,
on the
tip
edge
of the island. I mean, you can see it from.
The idea behind that came from Alan Shepard, first American in space, Mercury, first Mercury mission. He was actually on, of course, all the astronauts eventually lived. Well, some of the Mercury astronauts, because really Mission Control didn't open up until the Gemini program. So the original Mercury program was still kind of the astronauts were still based in Florida, but a lot of them came with the Gemini program. And Alan Shepard lived here in the area. Actually lived in Timber Cove on the water, and he was on the board of directors for the South Shore Harbor Development Company.
Yeah,
and he remembered looking out of his Mercury spacecraft and seeing the Cape Canaveral lighthouse. And the South Shore Harbor Lighthouse was basically a recreation of the Cape Canaveral Lighthouse. So that's kind of the history behind
which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why me and John are really hoping that they didn't mess that up.
Man, I hope they bring it back. Yeah. So. And I think the way I'm looking at this rendering, I think I still see it. If you look right here, I mean, that looks like right there, that's the lighthouse, right, on the tip there.
Yeah,
maybe,
but like
hopefully.
I said, from what I've seen it recently, and it's definitely looks more like an oil derrick. Or
now it's just literally. Actually, I've got a photo on my phone right now because I actually went on a boat recently.
I don't know if
took
they
pictures
want
of it.
a different route.
I think it's. I mean, I think right now it's just a support structure that was kind of behind it and with the light. But yeah, the lighthouse is gone. Unfortunately, and I really didn't notice that until not too long ago. I'm not sure how long it's been gone, but. We'll get an answer on that. I need to find out about that because they need to bring that back, no doubt. I mean, that's one of the true landmarks for this area. When I think of South Shore Harbor, I think of the South Shore Harbor Resort and the lighthouse and all the beautiful homes.
All right, so
Man, there's some
what else is going on in League City? Because
so much. I mean, there's so much development in League City.
Well, waterfront development.
Yeah,
What do we got?
waterfront. Well, okay, so